Ashley McBryde.
Ashley, good to see you again, as always.
Oh, it's good to see you. How you feeling? Are you okay? You rested?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, those onesies that you got our daughter are so funny. They're so funny.
Oh, the tattoos?
Yes. And she just grew out of them now, but she definitely wore them, and people thought they were like, where did you get the tattoo? I was like, no, those are Ashley McBryde onesies. So my wife, super thankful. We got many good laughs.
They were so cute.
Yeah, it was good. So thank you for asking about me. This is not about me, though. This is about you.
It's okay if things are, but I understand.
Okay. I want to make something else about me then. Is that okay?
Okay, yes.
I'd like to have, if it's okay with you to name a drink after me at your bar.
Sure.
I got some ideas.
Okay.
So Ashley has an NA bar in Chiefs. Mm-hmm. How about, I got a couple things here. Number one, the Pina Bones Lotta. Okay, doesn't work for her.
Okay. Feels
All right.
a little
Risky.
I don't know that
I
like
can see
it.
where you're going.
Okay.
Pina.
Well, then what, the Bony Colada? Because I'm always looking for like
Right.
NA drinks everywhere I go. Okay.
Right.
All right, how about the Bone Dry Margarita?
Bone dry. Bone dry's great. You could do a bone dry martini, a bone dry margarita,
How about the Self-Deprecating Daiquiri?
self-deprecating daiquiri.
Bobby's Self-Deprecating Daiquiri.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Okay,
Yes.
just think about
the way
that.
humor comes in the glass.
The mint bonito.
Hey, I actually like that.
That's awesome, dude. I like that
You
one.
you guys like that was terrible.
Yeah.
That was the worst one.
yeah, the bonito is
I thought
great.
that was my worst one. Okay, enough about me. I'm a massive fan of yours. I was so happy to see that people were loving your record. I was watching you talk about too. Did you not get to be part of the album release? Were you just on the road or what?
Just doing work, just all of the work, the whole parade that goes, all of the months leading up to that, which is 12 of those.
It took a year to do the album.
And we did the album, and then we just have to sit with it for a year. So we have songs that we want to play, that we can't play out yet. And then all of the press and the media, and we do the Tonight Show, and we do Kelly Clarkson, and we do all the things. So I'm in a plane. We're not in the bus. Plus we're doing a couple shows here and there, but we can't play the new record yet because it's not out. And so everything just kind of feels like a holding pattern. Even though you're doing what you love, you can't do the new record yet. So on release day, I had a full day of press and media, and then I had just gotten back from London. So I was still pretty jet lagged, and I couldn't really figure out how to use the microwave. There's very confused, exhausted body. And I guess I seemed sad.
Who said you were sad? People online or your friends?
My friends were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm fine." Which of course I was like, "Oh, I know I'm sad because I want to be with the guys. I want to be with Dana and Blakely, and I want to be with our crew. And even though I'm out here keeping the road hot and keeping the skies hot, we're not out here doing it all together a lot of the time. So I want them to feel like they're being celebrated. We made an amazing record that I'm really proud of, and we deserve to drink mocktails and have a cake and have that acknowledged, one to another. Hey, look what we did."
And you weren't feeling.
I guess I
bad.
was. I was sad. Yeah.
Have you got to do it now with them? And
Yeah, being all together and just hugging, and it was true us fashion. Dana brought a cake. We couldn't find forks or plates, but we found a bunch of knives. So we just cut it into little pieces and stabbed it, and people would walk by. We're just eating it with a knife. That was a very, very us thing to do.
Before you play and you have your guitar, I want to play "What If We Don't." So
that'd be great.
Would you kind of give me the story, because I know you're one of the writers on the song?
Yes.
So would you tell me about the song?
It has to do with that. What if we don't is the moment of right before you make a decision, and it's not an easy one. This is do I leave the friend zone, or are we safer here? And in that little bitty moment, anything could happen, because after that moment, you're going to have to live with the I did take the chance or the I didn't take the chance for the rest of time. And you may ruin that friendship by taking the chance, and you may ruin your chances by not taking it. So it is the possibility that anything could happen, that we might regret how far we let it go, but what if we don't? And it just so happens that a few years after this song was written, it might have been within the same year. It was 4 years later. I got in the situation. So, there's Randall Clay, Terry Joe Box, and I wrote this song, and then we pulled from all areas of our lives. And then later, the question would be asked to me, and I would say no. And then that ended in tragedy. That ended in, it's not like somebody sped away in a car and met their end right then. It was the next day. And it was just complete freak accident. But that right there really drove the song home in me because I didn't. And there's no way to know. There's no way to know if that would have ruined everything or if it would have been great. Like, there's just no way to know.
How long did it take you to write this song?
Let's see. Out on Terry Joe's patio, we probably spent 4 hours on it.
And you wrote it that long ago and you held it because
Yes.
it fit this project?
Yes. It was one of the songs that we kept it in the live show, and it's tried different iterations. We've tried having it more keys driven. We've tried having it more guitar driven. We've tried doing this groove or that groove. We never got it exactly right. Then while we were on the road, we were on the Leather Deluxe tour with Cody, and we were trying out Rattlesnake in front of his audiences and getting it to where it needed to be. And we brought What If We Don't back to see what it would do to an audience that's not inherently ours. That we're exposing our music to his fans. So with no frame of reference, what does this song do to a crowd? And it moves. And I was like, I knew it. It's a hit. We have to cut this. We have to cut it. We have to go. It doesn't have to be a new song to be the song that belongs on this record. It was one of the first songs I chose for record 5. It was right up there with Rattlesnake and Water in the River.
Why would you even think to pull this song? It's because, again, you've written so many songs. 4 or 5 years, I'd imagine you've written 100 songs. I'm just throwing a number out there.
Oh, yeah.
What about this song, though, just kept making it like pop back up to play, to try? Because you have so many songs you can do that with.
The Rudy effect. The Rudy. Like, I know this song can. I know it can. I know it can move. I know it can move us as we play it. I know it can move audiences. It's not a love song. It's not a cheating song. It's none of the easy ammo. It's a what if song. And I know that it didn't get its chance. And if you'll just give it its chance, then everybody will be rooting for it.
We're going to play it now. I love her doing all the work there. All the heavy lifting for this song was done. When you put out a new record, Ashley, do you get on at like 12:05 to see what people are saying, or will you give it the next day?
Oh, I cover my eyes for at least 24 hours. Because this is a record that I've made with my guys, and I'm so proud of it. And shame on me if I let anything taint that, at least for 24 hours. I am proud of this record. That's what I need to know. Jono is proud of this record. My band is proud of this record. My team is proud of this record. And what Carol thinks about it's none of my business.
Classic Carol, always jumping in with her opinions.
Here she is with her box wine.
Classic
and her
Carol. I would love for you to play Arkansas Mud.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
I would do it.
Ashley and I are both from Arkansas, everybody, in case you wonder.
Yeah, I got it. Makes sense.
It turns out this song's incredibly hard to play without a band. Because there's so much like double time, half time, but that's okay.
I have a bell.
Foot tambourines exist.
You're good then.
We found it. Look at this. I mean, that's...
She has a tambourine
strapped to
taped
her
boot.
That is correct. Sorry, I just hit the mic. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to tell everybody what we're doing here. So she has taken a microphone and built a very small stand going right over the top of her foot. And now she has a bell strapped to her foot, and then she's doing all this herself. What I think of is, you know that old thing of the one-man band? Where
Yes!
Ashley's the one-man band right now.
Oh my gosh, if we can get cymbals for my knees, we have made it.
No.
But I'm going to remove the tambourine from my foot for our safety.
That's funny. Every time she answers or gets passionate, you hear ching, ching, ching. You're announcing the new tour. So you're doing the Into the Wild tour.
Yes.
So when
Into the Wild.
when you do your shows, I feel like you're like such a sophisticated thinker and writer. Like, where do you do like the songs that casuals know?
The accidental fans, like casual fans.
Yes.
Where do we put those?
If it's like someone's like, I know the song about the room key. Now I'm going to go watch Ashley McBryde. And
yes.
Where do you put those songs?
That needs to be in the first 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You hit it hard at the very beginning.
Well, it needs to be something familiar. So we start with a statement, and whatever that statement is. And I like the statement to be, you've arrived. And that's usually very loud.
So you want to come hard then loud and
right.
Yeah.
That way, if you weren't in your seat, that's not my fault. And but then a couple songs in, especially if they're like, is this the girl that like leaves lights on all the time in her house, especially where food is prepared? You want to make sure that they recognize, especially if we were to start the show with Blackout Betty or Arkansas Mud, you're like, I think I came to a different show, because there's such a diversity in what we're really good at. And country music has such a diverse range of what that is. So if we hit it hard at the beginning with a rock song, I do want to give you a mid-tempo that you're super familiar with in the first 3 or 4.
Did you ever want to be a preacher?
I wanted to make sure that never, ever happened.
That you were never a preacher?
That it could never be confused as anything, even close to it. But... and in fact, when I went away, and there was a spiritual counselor there where I went, and she said, one of these days you're going to walk back into a church and you're going to share your story. And I said, only if you're in attendance, darling. You know, that kind of thing. But back in the day, North Little Rock, Arkansas, a bar called Reno's Argenta, Main Street. This guy had come in. He's in like painter's clothes. Carpenter's pants. That's what they look like. You could hang tools on them. And they was all one color, kind of cream. It was kind of stain, paint all over it. He came in and he was like, hey, what time do you start, sweetheart? And I was like, in 20 minutes. He handed me a $100 bill. And he said, start right now. And I said, it's no problem. It's no problem. I'll just be dang. It's 10 o'clock. And throughout the show, he kept coming back to the tip jar, which was the red gas can. And he would say things. We're starving for you. Where have you been? Don't you know you're supposed to be here? And then he bought the whole bar round of shots. When he did that, I said, hey, I would like to tell the people in attendance tonight who to thank for their whiskey. And he said, it doesn't come from me. It comes from the Lord. And I said, okay, congratulations, everybody. You can thank Jesus for your fireball. And just being very, irreverent and very casual about it. On my break, 4-hour set, on my break, he came up and he said, would you let me pray with you right now? I don't know this man. He's probably almost 60. And I was raised in the church, and I absolutely, if your amen has my name next to it, then that I could use that help. Whatever that is that's putting that on your heart, that's a real thing. And so I put my hands in his and I said, of course. He said, did you know God chose you? And I said, yes, I do. I know God chose me. And he said, no, not as the entertainer. You're the accidental preacher. And I said, well, I hope not. And we prayed together and I finished the show and I never saw him again. But by the end of the show, he had put 15 of those $100 bills in the gas can. And this was at a time that I had to choose between making rent and buying groceries. I had to save money to get reflux medication because it was $60 a bottle and I couldn't afford it. I had 2 things in my fridge. I had a jug of powder like Gatorade, and I had a 6-pack of PBR in bottles, and that was because I dog sat for someone. I had nothing. So when he said that, all of that happening around each other, me saying, I hope I could never be confused for that is not a completely accurate statement, because what he said to me that night was really important. And I don't go around preaching about sobriety, and I don't go around preaching about preaching. And I want everyone to feel like they belong and like it's okay to be anywhere I am, no matter who you are. And if that were to be confused with establishing a message, then I would be okay with that.
Do you ever feel like you weren't supposed to be around places you were in? Did people make you feel that way?
Oh, yes. I've been in some really interesting situations. I never really took into consideration how small 5'3" is because I'm larger than life.
I would have bet you're way taller than that because you're larger than life.
Thank you. And I have a big mouth, and I have a big energy, right? And I've talked myself out of as many fights as I've nearly talked myself into, and by saying things like, "You can hit me, but you're going to hate the way I take a punch." But I got in a truck one night in my truck. I had loaded up my gear. It was after the bouncers had taken the trash out, so big mistake. I should have been gone by then. All my gear's in there. There's nobody in this gravel parking lot. And I went to go close the door of my Tundra, and a big drunk guy was between the door and the frame. Now I know what size 5'3" is. Because, and he's hammered. So it does not matter how hard I push or if I hit him square in the nose. None of this is going to faze this guy. And I'm not pulling this door closed unless he says I get to. And that'll piss me off. Unless who says. But that's why I keep a taser in the cup holder. It works every time.
Have you ever had
every time at one of one times?
You haven't had to use
okay.
it.
He's
Oh, okay.
One of
time.
one times. And I hope he's still in that parking lot.
You had to use it then? That's the time you used it?
Yeah. I just grabbed it and stuck it in his thigh. Because that's what's funny is when I bought it, we went to like a show, like a weapons show, like you do at the whatever center in Conway or whatever. And I got, I was like, oh, this is a cute little taser thing. And it was just still in my cup holder.
So you didn't like practice like grabbing just in case?
No, I usually practice like situational awareness.
Yeah.
I keep, I don't know what the actual name of that is. They are collapsible. They are metal. I think they're an ASP, maybe they're called, and they're illegal in some places. So you got to know. Like I keep
Like a stick?
yeah, like a billy club, but they extend.
Oh, okay.
And so I've always kept ways because I was by myself,
Yeah.
just me and my truck, and sometimes my dog. So I've always kept ways to keep myself safe. But that we literally bought as a joke, and I was happy to have it.
Dang, that's crazy.
It's not going to hurt the dude, but it's going to change his mind.
It's going to hurt him. It's not going to injure him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing that cannot be quickly recovered from.
Dang. When you put this record out, what did you not expect to get from people that you got from people?
Ooh. Maybe I expected a little pushback on The Bottle Tells Me So.
Why?
Because I've made it a point to not soapbox about not drinking. And so I tried to be really careful there that isn't preachy and it isn't soapboxy. It just is a statement that there was a problem. And I think the thing that has surprised me most right now at live shows is the number of people singing so loud during Bottle Tells Me So. And for some of those people that are singing, their bottle isn't a bottle. It's a something else. And you can see it, which means that there is a moment happening there with us together that is super healing. That not in like, come here and I will lay hands on you and heal you. It something hurts a little less after that song.
The album is called Wild. The tour is Into the Wild. Right? I've got that
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
okay.
you nailed it.
Okay. So the album is out, just came out, and the tour is Into the Wild. Just announced 26 dates. You can go to ashleymcbride.com or to her socials. McBryde with a Y.
That's right. McBryde with a Y.
McBryde with a Y. I am such a fan. I hope this album does everything that you want it to do. Maybe it
Thank
already
you.
has. Maybe it already
Thank
has. I don't
you.
know. But I'm such a fan. And thanks. And I got so many nice messages to, I have a story. We all have our stories.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of told our story together on my Netflix show. And I hear about that more than just about anything I've done
I
in
get
years.
so many messages
Yeah.
about that episode. So thank you. Thanks for having me, and thanks for having that conversation with me because it's helping others.
I think there's a real safety in talking about something with someone who's also experienced a version of it.
Oh, absolutely.
And that, for me, that was the safety. Like talking to you about my version of my story, there's safety in that because I know it's not even so much judgment. It's just like understanding and empathy more than sympathy. I get plenty.
Right.
I get
Just
plenty of
knowing-
sympathy.
Knowing that there's space for it.
Yeah.
Without anything around that, like there's room for it.
So I really appreciated.
I appreciate
you doing
I
that.
thought about that for days after we spoke, and the more messages that I've gotten, that I'm just tickled and thrilled that it's encouraging others to talk.
There she is, the wonderful bell on her boot, Ashley McBryde. There she is.
Thank you.